Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be doing a prediction between Pete Buttigieg, the former Secretary of Transportation, under Biden, the Democrat, versus the Republican, J.D. Vance, the current Vice President of the United States. So Vance and Buttigieg have both been floated as possible contenders for their party's nomination. I do think that Vance has a much more likely scenario where he receives the nomination than Buttigieg for the Democrats, but you never know what could happen. Could be a shakeup, so we're going to do a prediction between these two candidates. And I do think I'm going to start in Nevada and then go eastward. Actually, I'm going to mix it up. Let's start with the east and then move west. So I do think that in the state of Pennsylvania, which I'll start with, I'm going to add a tilt characterization. Pete Buttigieg and Vance both have some Rust Belt appeal, so it would be hotly contested races in the Rust Belt. But for now, I'm going to go with a tilt blue rating for Pennsylvania, and then Michigan and Wisconsin to all end up in the Democratic Party's column. This is going to get the Democrat Pete Buttigieg really close to that 270 number. And then I do think that he will get there with the one electoral college district there in Nebraska. And I'm going to keep going through these states, but for now, that is a victory for Pete Buttigieg. In North Carolina, I do think it would be a different call. I'm going to go with a tilt red rating there. North Carolina, it's been a while since they voted for a Democrat on the presidential level. And if the election were to be held today, I just don't see it as that great of an opportunity for Democrats to win this state. I do think Georgia, however, could be a different scenario. This state performed well for Democrats in the 2025 elections that recently occurred. So I do think that Democrats should be hopeful about their chances in Georgia on the presidential level. And then we get to the two states here in Nevada and Arizona. I do think that this has a really high likelihood of ending up like this. This is probably how I would predict it. I'd go back and forth. I go back and forth on Arizona. Pete Buttigieg, more of a moderate, might be able to have that kind of Biden appeal that Biden was able to, of course, win the state of Arizona in 2020. So Democrats know it's possible. But for now, I do think that there are some more moderate voters that if the choice was Trump or Harris, they would go, or Trump or Biden, they would go for Biden. Some more Republican-leaning voters, but if it was a different Republican, such as Vance, that they would ultimately vote with the party. And we'll have to see what happens, though. This is how I would predict it. This is 292 for the Democrat Pete Buttigieg to 246 for the Republican J.D. Vance. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.